marathon, het is geen sprint, het gaat niet dat je als eerste finish, het gaat om dat je überhaupt finish. En heb jij dat stukje werkethiek, ben je bij een stukje toewijding gekomen en sta je ervoor open om te leren hoe deze business eigenlijk in elkaar steekt, dan wens ik je heel veel succes met ACN en zie ik graag aan toe.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Regional Vice President and Circle of Champions member, Mr. Asos Harsin!
Who's the most excited ACN representative in the room this morning? Before I start, show my gratitude for the fact of being on the stage. Very grateful to be part of this opportunity. Very grateful to be able to share the stage with all of these top producing regional vice presidents, senior vice presidents, circle champions, members, and the co-founders of ACN. My background is very simple. I've got a very simple and normal background. When I got in contact with ACN, I was studying, I was doing several jobs. So I had a business background. I came from the north of Iraq. I'm a Kurdish young man. And I was living in the north of the Netherlands called Groningen. Any people from Groningen? What you need to know is that the people in Groningen, the north of the Netherlands, they are very down-to-earth people and very direct. So I want to ask for permission if I can be direct and down-to-earth the next 20 minutes. Do I have your permission? Yes or yes? Okay, the next topic I want to share with you is a very, very important topic. I will tell you why, because I've built my ACN business in the last 10.5 years based upon this topic. And there's a small thing I want to do with you guys. Can I see all of the hands of all the people who are executive team trained? Okay, if you became an executive team trainer faster than 2.5 years, you can put your hands down. Faster than 2.5 years. So, I'm one of the few people who became ETT after 2.5 years. Can I see the hands of all the executive team leaders? If you became an executive team leader faster than 5.5 years, you can put your hands down. Okay, so I'm one of the slowest executive team leaders. Okay, can I see the hands of all the team coordinators, please? If you became a team coordinator faster than 7 years, you can put your hands down. So, I was the slowest team coordinator also. Okay, can I see the hands of all the regional directors? If you became a regional director faster than 8.5 years in ACN, you can put your hands down. So, I was the slowest regional director also. Can I see the hands of all the regional vice presidents, please? If you became a regional vice president faster than 9 years, you can put your hands down. So I'm the slowest regional vice president in ACN. Almost. But that's not fair, because her father and mother were SVPs. So, if you are a very slow example in the business, if you are very slow, like a caterpillar in ACN, you have the results that we are having. So what's the first thing you got to keep in mind? In this business, it's not about who's the fastest. This business is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's about finishing one day. But what you need while you're building your ACN business is you need some structure. Because if we don't have an ACN structure, it will be impossible for us to build the ACN business. So promoting events is the reason why I stayed in ACN even when I was not experiencing the fast success like many other people were having. Because most people want fast success, true or not? But the reality is that you and I are exactly where we should be in life, but also in our ACN career. So we just gotta embrace the process of where we are right now and the pace that we are moving in. But we need events to build our business. Because I'll be honest with you, without events, it's impossible building our ACN business. So this being said, let's see why we promote events. Let's look at the 4 reasons why we promote events. Before I start telling you guys why we promote events, I just want to make one thing clear. There's a huge difference between inviting for events or promoting for events. Inviting for events is a cool, subtle way informing somebody else about something happening and they can join you. That's the first option. Promoting for events is like, if this is the line that you cannot cross, because this is not pushy, and that's being pushy, promoting events is just pushing it to the line. Don't go over the line, just push it to the line. I will explain to you guys in a minute why. But let's look at the 4 reasons why we promote events and why people go to events. Can you see the hands of all the people who want to learn how they can help their team? Let me see the hands of the people who really want to help their team. Okay, so we guys, we go to the trainings to learn how we can help our team. Can I see the hands of all the people who really wants to become the expert, who wants to know everything, who wants to know all the details, who wants to know the information? So we go to the events, why? Because we learn from the experts. We call this the 2mm, and you can only learn the 2mm from the top people in the company who has proven their results. The third reason why people can go to events is because they want to become a top money earner. Can I see the hands of all the people who want to become a top money earner in ACN? Some people are raising 2 hands. Where you can learn from the top money earners, where the top money earners are, true or not? The 4th reason why people go to events is because people want to have fun. Can you see the hands of all the people who like to have fun and like to have fun with their teams and when they go to international conventions? A lot of dolphins in the room. So these are the reasons why we promote for events, why people go to events. Because people generally, in common, have 2 of these 4 are very, very important for them. So I don't know which of these 4 are important for you, but all the people that you talk to from this day on have one of these 4 reasons. Most of the time, 2 of these 4 reasons what really motivates them to go to an event. So looking at the event ladder, there are different kinds of There are different kinds of events. Let's go back. The first kind of event is the PBR. The PBRs are the living room setting. They can be a product demonstration of Benefita. It can be a website exposure, it can be a 1 to 10 in a living room setting. Very, very comfortable. Jeans. People are having fun. People are having a drink. Not alcoholic drinks, but people having a cup of tea or cola. And this is saying, I heard this in America, if you and I have friends who come to our house for a PBR, but they cannot be in our living room without an alcoholic drink for 1 hour, they need to go to a different meeting. They also have a sponsor at that meeting. They call it an AA meeting. Who's ever heard of this? So, the next event is the BOM. The BOM are the local presentations, the business opportunity meetings. Most of the times you have these meetings once a week in your local market. My advice would be to join 1 PBR, make 1 PBR a week, go to 1 BOM a week to create a structure in your business. The next type of event we want to talk about is the events of the Saturday training. They're on a weekly basis. It's not necessary to have them on a Saturday because the thought behind it is it's a basic training where local leaders teach the basics. And at this basic training, it's very, very important to be there every week. I will tell you why. Because the first thing many people say after they go 3, 4, 5 times is, I've been a couple of times, but it's every week the same. Who agrees with me that the basics in any field are always the basics and will never change? Can I see the hands who agree to that statement? And that's why the weekly training is always the same, because it's a basic training for the new people. The third kind of event we want to talk about is the regional events. Most of the time these events are 1 time in a month or 1 time in a month or 1 time in the 2 months. where people from different locations, different regions come to your respected area and do like a extended, advanced, basic training. We got some recognition going on there. And these are most of the times one time in the 30 days or one time in the 60 days. And your country has different regional events based upon the geographic situation of your country. What we have is the national event. And these national events are very, very important. Like all your top producing regional vice presidents, senior vice presidents, and Circle of Champions members, twice a year they put up a national event. And this national event function is very simple. It's bridging the gap between the international conventions. And that brings me to the last part, the international convention. For who here today is the first international convention? Can I see the hands? I want to talk to you guys for a second, because who agrees that before you came here today, you were an ACN, but after this weekend, ACN is inside of you? Who agrees to that statement? Absolutely. There's a saying in ACN, they say, there are two moments that you start with your ACN career. The first moment you start is when you fill in your rep agreement or your register online, becoming an ACN independent business owner. The second time you start with ACN is when you go to the international convention. Because ACN's international convention is like the creme de la creme of the ACN business. Because at the international convention, you really get in touch with what ACN can mean for you. You can see people walking the stage that are just like you, who became successful. People have increased belief. People get more excited. People start realizing what they're actually part of. But if you look at all the events that we've pictured here for you, it's very, very important to have a structure on weekly base, monthly base, yearly base. And I'll tell you why. Because if we fail to have structure, we structurize, start, and plan to fail. Let me tell you what I mean. This is what I mean. If we have structure in ACN business, there's something going on no matter how we feel, because all of us have good days and bad days. Agree, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
So, despite of how you feel, and what does our mentor George Seligman say? Commitment is doing what you said you would do long after the mood you set it in has left you. So, but we all have feelings up and down. And if we get directed by our feelings, our business wouldn't work. That's why we need structure. And this structure, this suggestion I want to make, discuss it with your uplines before you implement it. A structure like one weekly BOM, one weekly training, one regional a month, 2 regionals in 6 months, 2 nationals every year, 3 international events every year. This must be part of your ACN DNA. Because if you're part-time, you need these events, you need this structure to make this ACN business work. Who agrees to this statement? Please say aye. So what's the point? This structure will create a rhythm. And what's this rhythm? I will tell you. Like, I started going to an event by myself. I had some new business partners in my group when I was in ETL. The only thing I taught them was this. Like, hey, I got this structure. I go to a PBR, I go to a BUM, and I go to a training. Every 2 months we go to a regional. Twice a year we go to a national. Twice a year we go to an international. And the only thing I did was, guys, we just gotta follow this structure. And if we bring more people to every part of this structure, we will create a rhythm. And because the amount of people following this structure will grow, because the rhythm of this organization starts to make more noise, before you know it, you will have momentum. Who in the room wants to experience so much momentum that you will have more IBOs coming in your business day in, day out, that you can even count on your hands? Who wants to have more IBOs coming in your business? Of course we want to have that, but we will never experience that if we don't create momentum. And momentum is something magical, but momentum is something magical, but rhythm is not magical, and structure is something very simple. To follow the structure, this is what you need. Commitment, discipline, following your local structure with your local leaders. And this being said, the most important part of the structure is this event, the International Conference of ACN. No one of the leaders in ACN would have been today where they are if they wouldn't follow the ACN events. So what is my point? My point is very, very simple. We are here today for a reason. And I want to make this moment very, very special. Because I truly believe, my belief in the ACN opportunity has never been so high. Who agrees? Okay, but now we got to make some action. Who is registered on the website, www.acnreg.au? Who is registered? All the people, you can register right now. In a second, you'll see your name coming over the big screen. And I want to ask all the leaders to collect the forms, but this is what happens every time when we collect the forms. When we collect the forms, people get all excited and start talking. Do you have a form? Do you have a card? Do you have a pen? And because people start talking, everybody loses their attention of the training. So I want to look if we can play team. And team stands for together everyone achieves more. Let's look if we can be as silent as we possibly can while we hand out the forms. Do I have you on my team, yes or no?
Yes.
Do I have you on my team, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so the goal is, the leaders will hand out the forms, we fill in the form, but we're going to fill in the form correctly. It has no use filling in the form, but not doing it correctly. What does incorrectly mean? That we cannot read it, that the bank information is not correct, that the address is not correct. We must fill in the form correctly, and once you fill in the form, keep your neighbors quiet and wave the form above your head as soon as you fill in the form. Can we all play team? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Let's make it happen. Guys, can you get the forms? Get the forms out. And while they're getting the forms out, I'm going to go into the next. Fill in the form. Everybody be quiet. Don't talk. If you have a smartphone, go to www.acnreg.au. If you have a smartphone, go to www.acnreg.au. But don't forget, we got to be quiet, because if you don't stay quiet, we cannot continue the training. So what's a very, very, very important part of this business? A very, very important part of this business is the leadership. So that's why I want to ask all the leaders, all the Circle of Champions members, to come and join me on stage. Can the Circle of Champions members please come and join me on stage? Can the Circle of Champions members please join me on stage? Thank you very much. As soon as you fill in the form, let one person of your group come in front and give the form to the leader of your organization. What we must recognize in this business, ladies and gentlemen, what was the deal? Keep quiet. If you already have your form, please.
Ja, dat wil ik wel zeker. Dit is een?
Dit is voor creditcard, zag ik.
Ah, oké. Maar de andere kant is het gewoon afschrift.
Events create everything that we want in our lives. Because if we don't plan our next 6 months, if we fail to plan our next 6 months, we are planning to fail the next 6 months.
Moet je dus bij de andere kant
if we commit ourselves today to fill in the form, 1. Second, register everybody of our organization to also come with us to the Rotterdam event. Is going to be a fabulous happening. I promise you the best event that will ever happen in the history of ACN will be in Rotterdam. Who has ever been to the Netherlands? Can I see the hands of the people who have ever been to the Netherlands? I told you to be quiet. So, if you've ever been to the Netherlands, it's fine. But you've never been to the Netherlands in Rotterdam in an international conference in 2014. It's going to be awesome. All the great leaders are going to be there. All the new Circle of Champions are going to be there. Multiple team coordinator positions. We've got our promotions, senior vice president promotions. It's going to be the best event ACN has ever hosted. And you and I can be part of that event. If you're here, you're sitting here, you've already registered yourself or your mobile phone, www.acnreg.com. I advise you personally, start texting very important. If you and I would be able to double the numbers of people we have had today, this arena would be too small. It would be fire coming out of the arena. The excitement level will go over the world of ACN. It will go to every country that ACN isn't even in right now. And why? Just because the excitement we create together. The energy level is extremely important. How can we create this energy? By enrolling the most and highest amount of people to go to this event. And while we're going to this event, ladies and gentlemen, if you feel the floor, wave it above your head.
Jay.
Perfect. And if people can pick up the forms who are filled in, please. And let's stay quiet, please. Thank you very much. To have the most people at the event, you must commit yourself, like we said. The second part is, if you don't know who your business with, like I've told my group many times, like we are part of the ACN family, we are part of the co-founder leadership. We gotta follow the co-founders, but the first part of the business is your following your local leader, and that's good. But you gotta know who you are business with. Greg, Mike, Tony, Robert, Mr. Wayne Oldo, these are people you gotta see, you gotta look in their eyes. Like they said, like Matilda Montani said, these people sweat integrity. But if you haven't seen it yourself, if you haven't met them yourself, you cannot speak from your own experience. Ladies and gentlemen at the back, please be quiet. We agreed to play team. Wave your paper above your head if you filled in the form. Very good. The ingredients to be invited, ingredients to be promoted. Promoting like the best of the best are very simple. You gotta be extremely excited. If your excitement level as a person is, let's say, 5 or a 6, it's a little bit silly to be a 10. But if your excitement level is like a 5.5 or a 6, and you increase your excitement with a couple of notches, like let's say you go to a 6 or 6.5, people start to realize that something's different. It's a very powerful saying. People are not motivated by the depth of your knowledge, but people will be drawn to you by the height of your excitement. We need to be excited when we promote the event. The second thing is, we gotta have the attitude of the posture. The attitude of the posture, like being non-negotiable, making bold statements. And when I was bringing my first people to this event many years ago, I made very bold statements. I told them, like, hey, if you come to this event with me, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and at the Sunday, you realize that you didn't like this event, it was a waste of your money, time, energy, I will pay you back everything that you need. I didn't even have the money to go myself. I just made it happen. But this is my question for you guys. How many people have ever told me on the Sunday, Asos, I want you to pay me back because I thought it was not worth my time, energy, or money? How many people have told me, you think? 0. Why? Because every single person that comes to the event experiences the ACN feeling, the ACN warmth, sees the leadership of the co-founders, they see the training of the top producers, they see all the promotions, and they see the value of going to events. The third ingredient is urgency. Like, most of us wait till the last month to invite and promote events.